What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Today is not such a happy day because of everything that has been going on over the last 2 weeks. Just last week, a Ukrainian immigrant was assassinated inside a train in the United States. There's also what happened today with Mr. Charlie Kirk. And I just want to talk a little bit about this because I know that whenever I even make a hint about politics a little bit, there's a lot of people that instantly jump because of how divided the United States are right now politically. Something that I did want to say is I grew up raised by an extremely liberal woman, my mother. I am married to an extremely liberal woman. I consider myself a liberal, but I have a different philosophy to a lot of liberals right now because of how radicalized they've become. I consider that the best approach is one that Charlie Kirk tried to take, which was talk to each other, because genuinely, and I believe the same thing, talking to each other is what prevents violent acts. And unfortunately, he was assassinated on Wednesday, September the 10th, doing what he believed could stop violence. And I just want to say it doesn't matter your opinions differing from somebody else's, especially the political ones or the ideological ones. If you can't get along as a civilized person and can't have a dialogue, you're doing something wrong. Vitriol and violence are always condemned, especially by this channel. And it's a really difficult situation. I completely understand, and I will always condemn any type of violence. But yeah, this should be a wake up call for everybody who keeps engaging in this type of rhetoric. In the UFO community, it happens as well, and it keeps happening on X, for example. People go after each other, they dox each other, they insult each other constantly. And I think that what happened today is a breaking point. And we should really look inward and look at what the fuck we're doing. This is not the way, I don't think. So I just wanted to address that a little bit. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and condolences to his family and his loved ones. And yeah, let's hope that this has a more positive than negative effect, hopefully. So today, something happened before everything that went down in Utah. It's funny because Dylan Borland talked about this sighting that he had at Langley Air Force Base, where a NASA hangar was, and he saw a black triangle. It was equilateral triangle, and it's funny because the way he describes it is kind of like the video that Tom DeLonge showed on Joe Rogan. And just hours after the hearing, NASA hinted that there was a big announcement coming from NASA Director Duffy. And he made the announcement today, just before everything that happened in Utah. He confirmed something that Tom DeLonge also had been predicting for a while. And let's just go to the tweet from 2015, that is. This is Tom DeLonge back in 2015. He said, just watched a video of NASA administrators saying he believes there is life on Mars. I'm not totally crazy. Have some fun. Look up. And he didn't finish the tweet. This is something that Tom DeLonge has been talking about for a while. It's not new. There was, according to records, humans have had evidence of microbial life in Mars since 1976 with Jill Levin and his Viking experiment. Former President Bill Clinton back in the 90s also made sort of like an announcement that there was something found on Mars, but nothing succinct. And Tom DeLonge has been talking about this. He said once that disclosure means NASA would confirm life on other planets and then they would say that UFOs are real, and then advanced alien life being here on Earth already would be the main plan for the control disclosure. This is true. He has been saying it. And he also said in 2017, during that Joe Rogan interview, he said that before disclosure, the first thing they're going to do is that they're going to start increasingly talking about potential life on exoplanets, which happened back in April. If you guys don't remember, the planet K2-18b reported that there was something found there. And then Tom said that they would hint at structures on the moon and Mars, and then eventually reveal the truth about UFOs. So in that vein, and let me just show you another thing that Tom did back in 2016, just before the interview with Joe Rogan. He showed this documentary trailer from Fusion. It's called The Expedition Mars 2030. He provided the music from Angels and Airwaves, and he was even interviewed about it. So this is from 2016. This was before the Joe Rogan interview. And then he said that on Rogan. So today, Secretary of Transport and NASA Chief Duffy said the following.
And the scientific community that will, in essence, pressure test what we think we've found. So we're talking about Perseverance. This was a mission sent to Mars under President Trump's first presidency. And a year ago, we found a sample, and it was, again, we're exploring in places where there were rivers and where there were lakes. And much as on Earth, we think that that's where we'd see signs of ancient life on Mars. And so a year ago, we thought we found what we believe to be signs of microbial life on the Mars surface. And so we put it out to our scientific friends to pressure test it, to analyze it, and go, did we get this right? Do we think this is signs of ancient life on Mars? And after a year of review, they've come back and they said, listen, we can't find another explanation. So this very well could be the clearest sign of life that we've ever found on Mars.
Yep, that just happened. Shout out to Skywatch Signal, who posts a lot of my work. Thank you for that. But let's go a little deeper into what was actually discovered. Let's go to the official NASA Mars Twitter account or X account. This is what they say. After a year of scientific scrutiny, a rock sample collected by the Perseverance rover has been confirmed to contain a potential biosignature. The sample is the best candidate so far to provide evidence of ancient microbial life on Mars. And then they say, the Perseverance team discovered the rock formation in an ancient, now dry, riverbed in Jezero crater, and instruments revealed that it's composed of clay and silt. On Earth, these are excellent preservers of past microbial life. And then they say, NASA is making this data available to the wider science community for further study to confirm or refute its biological potential. It's another step in the agency's multi-decade effort to understand life on our planet and beyond, and prepare for new journeys to the red planet. So they're now flat out saying that this is what's going to happen next. I'm going to leave a link in the description for this, but this opens up a lot of different questions about a lot of different things that have happened over the past decade or so. One of those things is, for example, just to give you an example, Joe McMonagle's remote viewing sessions on Mars, those need to be looked at again if this is confirmed 100%. Also, Dr. John Brandenburg's wild theory of alleged and possible nuclear detonations on Mars millions of years ago should also be looked at, because those types of isotopes can only come from a nuclear detonation. So that needs to be looked at as well. And if life was already found, or the best science possible, there's a lot to talk about. And I just want to know, is this also part of the plan of the controlled disclosure narrative? Just like Tom DeLonge predicted years ago? I don't know, but he keeps getting things right, which is kind of weird. He also got sort of like an apology from Rogan a little while ago where Rogan said, I thought he was crazy, but then now I think that he may be onto something. I just hope that Tom DeLonge goes back to Joe Rogan and he gets a proper apology from Joe, because that interview happened in October 2017. And then the New York Times article dropped in December that year. And then everything that's happened ever since. 3 consecutive hearings happened. Tom DeLonge predicted that as well. And now I know that there's a lot of people that will instantly say, yeah, but Tom is an op. He was fed that information. It's part of the control disclosure plan. Yeah, maybe. I think it's possible too. But that doesn't take anything away from the predictions becoming true, which is happening. This is just the latest one. So let me know what you think. I'm going to leave links to everything in the description. What do you think about the potential of life, microbial life, being discovered on the surface of Mars? And what do you think about Tom DeLonge's predictions? Which one do you think is next out of everything he said? Because there's a lot of crazy stuff he said over the years. Before the Joe Rogan interview, he said even wilder shit that you guys got to check out. He did a lot of interviews with Jimmy Church. He did a lot of interviews on Coast to Coast with Linda Moulton Howe. And there's a lot that he said there that is pretty wild. So let me know what you think. Yeah. And yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. That's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive like Tom DeLonge. Always. Bye.